These are people telling their confession on the internet of what they ever did in real life. 7 years ago, I took Lowe's gift card from dead grandma's house. So months before she passed, my grandma bought and returned a faulty power washer worth $279. Lowe's gave her money back on a gift card and she never spent it. She passed away from a stroke and we were in her house going over the will and making arrangements. I saw the inconspicuous Lowe's card in her junk drawer and quietly pocketed it. Totally didn't know if any money was on it, but I figured she may have not had a chance to shop Lowe's since it was an hour away. I get home and check the balance and the full amount was there. I ended up going on a tool spree. Bought a badass impact and a bunch of hand tools. I still feel a bit bad after 7 years. I used mom's business credit card to buy a bong, then lied about what the charge was when she got the bill. When I was 19-ish, my mom gave me her business credit card to purchase a list of office supplies. I also stopped at a head shop and bought a $200 bong, cause that's where my priorities were. When she got the bill I lied and said I bought concert tickets, cause the name of the shop was Monsters of Rock. She made me pay her back, but I never even let her take a single rip off that bong. I spent $220 on my grandmother's card after she gave me it. She let me pick out my Christmas stuff on the card about 2 weeks ago and it totaled to $300. I, being selfish, spent $220 on it without her knowing. $150 in shoes and $70 on a shirt. Don't get me wrong, she is a wealthy woman, but I regret this so much and feel shame. And she hasn't found out yet. I feel bad and like I just used her. I live my grandma and if she finds out I don't want her to think I was using her for money. I hid my friend's littlest pet shop toy at the hotel. When I was younger, my family and I went on a family vacation and they let me choose a friend to take with. This friend and I were super close at the time. However, she would go out of her way to brag about the things she had and was not very good at sharing. We were playing with her littlest pet shop toys in the hotel room and she was being very bossy and picky about the things she let me play with. When she wasn't looking, I grabbed a piece that went to one of the houses she had and hid it. This was a piece that was definitely needed to have the whole thing set up. Once it was time to pack everything up and check out of the hotel, I took it and stuffed it between a cot that was folded up in the room. I know, not too crazy, but I sure felt like I did something big at the time to get her back. I stole more than $100 of my parents' money for drugs and was high at my aunt's funeral. When I was 15, I had been using my weekly allowance to buy vapes, carts or whatever. So my mom stopped giving me that weekly allowance for unknown reasons. Anyways, I start taking money straight out of her wallet, then my dad's, sometimes my grandma's, and I'd take from both so they wouldn't be missing big amounts, and they never caught me even though it had been going on for months. Fast forward, I decide to try edibles. Source tells me that the edibles are fake and won't do shit, so I stupidly take the whole Nerds Rope edible thinking it won't do anything right before my aunt's funeral. 30 minutes later I'm tripping, binge eating, having a bad high, and it's intense. Super paranoid, just horrible, so I try to hide it, thinking it's probably super noticeable. We're on our way to the funeral and I'm in a different universe, so I hardly remember much of the funeral, but I'm convinced I'm going to hell for that. When I was in 3rd grade, I stole this girl's bag of rocks she brought for show and tell. This girl I had a crush on in 3rd grade brought these like birthstone rocks or something like that for show and tell. She had them in this like fancy silk bag. I have no idea why I felt the need or when I even steal them, but I did. I just remember she was crying a lot and I just dumped the rocks on the floor and they caught me with the bag. I put some quarters in it. She moved away soon after that and I still feel shitty about it.